Hi, I'm Matt from Educraft.org, and I'm the Minecraft modding counselor and curriculum writer. And I thought I'd start a series of videos helping people troubleshoot common problems. I get some email feedback with some issues that the modders from camp are having, and so I thought I'd do a series of videos where I address each issue one by one. And today we're going to do a workaround for if you're trying to make a custom axe. Some people have been having trouble with their axes, and so I'm going to show you a solution to your problems. So one of the problems that seems to be encountered is, for whatever reason, the materials that you make your axes out of, they have some properties that are stored as sets that when we created our materials in our camp was stored as just a regular value. And so if you try to make an axe by just extending axe, then you're going to have problems because it's going to be looking for a set and it's going to only find one value, and the game is actually going to crash and not even start up. So that's a pretty big problem. Now I need to figure out how to deal with the whole material issues. I think that I'll soon find a way for you to make materials that you can then make axes out of. But until then, I found a workaround where you can get something that you can create your own tool that pretty much works exactly like an axe, except that it's a tool and it doesn't use the set of values for the material. It just uses the regular material properties. And it'll pretty much feel like an axe. I don't know what there's going to be subtle differences, but I don't know if you'll even notice it, or anyone who's playing your mod will really notice the differences. And so let's get cracking and make that happen, and I'm going to show you how it works. So here's how it typically goes when you create new types of materials in your mod. So say you've created a new material. Mine is called material name, and in the tutorials we'll go over how to create your own material. So suppose you've done that already. So you still need to create the new item that is made from this material in your item variables. And so in your mod items class, you are going to put it where you put your other item variables. Now I have this section for tool items, and so I am going to show you this typical one. I'm going to say public static item, saying that this is a variable that can be seen outside of this class, that it doesn't change by this class, and that the variable type is an item, and it's going to be called a material underscore spade. Spade is really just what Minecraft calls shovels. In the game it calls them shovels, but in the code it calls them spades. I don't know why. And so then you're going to bring this into existence by saying, hey, this variable, it comes from this class. It either creates a new class or it uses a class to create a new item. So I'm going to go into our init folder, and I'm going to say material underscore spade equals new, and I'm going to say item spade because that's the name, spade, because that's the name of the class of things that we draw from, and inside I'm going to give it its material name, which is material underscore name. So I've created a new spade and it's called material name. A few other things about this item is I need to give it a unlocalized name and a registry name. So I say dot set unlocalized name, and normal mod conventions mean I make this a string, so I put it in quotes, and I give the unlocalized name the same name as the variable name. So lowercase material underscore spade, but not space spade. There we go. It needs to have a registry name, so I say dot set registry name, and the registry name is usually it's also a string, and it starts off with the kind of thing this is. So this is an item, and then instead of using underscores in lowercase, we don't use underscores, and we use uppercase to designate the separation of words. So item is one word, and then material is the next, and then spade is the next. So it's item material, dang it, spade, item material spade, capital I, capital M, capital S. One more thing, we say dot set creative tab, and in there we say creative tabs dot, and it's a tool, so it's TOOL in all caps because these are constants. Oh, tools with an S. Okay. Then we want to register the game, or register the item with the game. So game registry.register, and we'll register the material spade. So let's delete that, material underscore spade. And then in our register renders, we're going to register render. So say, hey, there's going to be a texture for this, and it's going to be the material underscore spade. Okay, and so we're going to run our game, and we're going to look for this inside of that. So I ran the game, and I'm going to show you if, oh wow, I spawned right outside of a village. That has never happened to me before. I love villages, and I rarely ever find them. So let me take a moment to appreciate this beauty. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. Hey, let me talk to this villager. Okay, I don't have anything. Okay, just, oh my gosh, that's expensive. Okay, anyway, I know the villagers are annoying, but I don't know, I just love villages. I love the idea that the world is populated by people other than me. Okay, so I'm going to check my inventory. I'm going to look at my tools, and hey, look at that. I got my spade, and I can use it to dig. I didn't put any textures for it. The tutorials will tell you how to set textures with making a PNG file and a JSON file in order to have textures for your item. So in this case, we're just going to be stuck with this ugly behemoth of purple and black. Alright, so now that worked really well. That worked exactly how you would think it would based on the tutorials. And now I'm going to show you what's wrong with the axe. So the spade class handles everything you need. So all you need to do is say, hey, there's this new item. It's called this spade. And then you say, hey, this spade, it's a spade, but it's made out of this. And you created the material already, and the material has all the information you need to make this new kind of spade. And of course, you got to put it in the game registry. You got to register render so it knows there should be a texture there. But the axe works a little different. So the axe has this idea that there's going to be different sorts of damage and different sorts of speed depending on what you're attacking, like the different materials that you're attacking. And until I make a video and help you guys create a material that accounts for this, we're going to have to use a workaround because your material doesn't have that kind of data for the axe. So let me show you what happens if you try to create an axe the same way that we created a spade. Alright, so I've created my new item, material axe, just the way I did spade. And I go down here and I say material axe is a new item axe, and I give it the material name, I give it an unlocalized name, I give it a registry name, and I give it a creative tab. I have put it in the game registry, and I have given it a register render, so the game should expect texture. And so now I'm just going to import item axe, and look at that, no suggestions available. And let's see what happens when we try to run this stuff. Yeah, let's run it. Sure, whatever, why not? And look at that, the game crashes. It didn't go all the way, and I get this error message that I'll scroll up and find. I know I have this problem in the class mod items.it. The only thing I added was the item axe. So I can conclude that that was really the problem, because last time it ran and then I added the axe and it didn't run. So axes work a little bit different. So instead of trying to make a material axe, a new version of item axe, which doesn't have the stuff we need, we're going to have to create our own class of tools. So we're going to create a new class. Instead of being a new item axe, which is a class that already exists, we're going to make up our own class called item material axe. And then we're going to create class item material axe, and we shall put it in item classes inside that package because it is an item class. Click on finish, and then we get item material axe, and that still extends item tool. Okay, and we're probably gonna have to import that. Yep, import item tool, and then it's gonna ask us to create a constructor. There we go. Okay, so our effective blocks. Here's how we do it. I'm going to just close this for a second so you see how it's done. We're going to go down to our, we have this thing called referenced libraries, and that includes all the source code from Minecraft. So if you open Forge source 1.9.4, that's Minecraft source code. And net, and then you load Minecraft, and then item, and take a look at what item axe looks like. Item axe extends item tool as well, and it has this feature called set block effective on. So these are the blocks that axes are particularly effective on. Regardless of harvesting, it's just really good at killing those things. So we're going to copy that, right click, copy, and we're going to go back to our class, item material axe, and we're going to add that there under. It's going to be above the constructor. We have this new thing called effective on. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to replace the variable name for effective block string, because that's storing the same value, and we're going to just call it in all caps effective underscore on, because it's a constant, so it's a variable defined with all caps or named with all caps, and that handles what our effective blocks are. And in fact, we can even delete it from this part of our file. Delete that. To make life easier, I'm going to delete this comment, and I'm going to change the tool material, the material in that basically just says what this material is made out of, and I'm going to just delete the IN part and leave it as material. Okay, I'll handle this later. All right, so inside of our constructor, we are going to create new parts to this. Oh, first, material IN has to be changed to material in there. And hey, look, our comments went away. And now we want to type this. Oh, I still have all caps on. This dot damage versus VS, and oh, look, it completes it there for us. And we're just going to get this from the material that our axe is made out of. So you created a material that already has this information, so it's going to get it from that. So material dot get damage. Oh, look, you just start typing it. Get damage versus enemies, the first one. So you hit enter. Put in a semicolon. This dot attack speed. Oh, look, it's already there. Attack speed equals material dot get efficiency on proper material. Look at that, it completes it for you, and you put a semicolon, and it's right there. All right, next up we have this dot can repair, and it's a boolean, so it's either true or false. So we say true, which means this is an item that we indeed can repair. Okay, so there's one more step that I'm going to go into in a second. Alright, so to make it more like the axe, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to our item axe class, I'm going to get this last bit of code, this public float get strength versus block, item stack, block state, state. And then down here it has all these blocks that the axe is pretty good at handling and can get materials from. So I'm going to copy that method, right click, copy, and I'm just going to paste it in our new material. Now you'll notice that it's its own method and it's outside of the constructor method, which is here. So I'm going to go there, I'm going to get outside of the constructor method, I'm going to add this new method, and that is where we are going to stop. This is basically a tool that works just like the axe in every respect, except that instead of it changing its damage versus entity, as you'll notice with the axe, it's got these things called attack damages and attack speeds that have these sort of sets in it. Instead, it's consistent with the material. And one more thing we'll have to do is change our constructor from protected to public. That way it can be seen from other files, and our mod items will be able to handle it. Oh yeah, no errors here. And so we're going to click the run option and okay, and make it load in our game, and let's see if it crashes. Okay, so yeah, oh, the villagers. Alright, so let's see if we have it. We have, there it is, our new axe. Look at that axe. And we're gonna change the game mode to survival and see how well it chops down trees. Yeah, look at that. That's a tree killing machine. This is a true axe. Look at that. So you know how to change the textures from the tutorials, and you can make a little axe texture if you want. And now you know how to not mess up making your own axe file or item when you mod Minecraft. Okay, so we got one troubleshooting video down. People had trouble with their axe items, and we found a workaround that is pretty effective for now. So don't hesitate to send me an email if you have a problem. Let me know what your issue is, and I'll keep making videos to help everybody, so that so that you can keep modding on your own even after you've taken our Educraft classes. So until the next issue comes up, I will see you later from educraft.org.